The narrative shifts to someone arriving for a janitor's assistant job interview. They receive directions to take an elevator with a cryptic message about seeing beyond surface appearances and recognizing hidden truths since childhood. A personal revelation emerges about Dylan, a brother who was taken by the Bureau 17 years ago. This marks a significant emotional turning point that connects to past trauma and current motivation. The focus turns to objects of power, specifically the service weapon, which plays a key role in the Bureau's operations. These objects can cause or result from altered world events that intrude upon normal reality. A crisis unfolds with an entity called the Hiss attempting to invade. The new director must protect the Bureau, leading to an intense confrontation that tests their newfound abilities and responsibilities. Emily Pope introduces herself as Dr. Darling's assistant and explains the Hiss situation, a hostile force that has infiltrated the building and affected everyone not protected by an HRA, Hadron Resonance Amplifier. The new director, Jesse Faden, reveals their unexpected rise to leadership. Jesse attempts to cleanse those infected by the Hiss, but discovers it's too deeply embedded. She reveals her connection to an incident in Ordinary 17 years ago that the Bureau covered up, marking her personal history with the organization. The narrative introduces the Hotline, another object of power that enables communication between the director and the board. Jesse must locate it in the communications department through the mailroom, despite the ongoing lockdown. The search leads to a mysterious motel setting that feels like a dreamlike combination of roadside motels. This surreal location contains important symbolic elements, including a black pyramid marking. After acquiring the Hotline, Jesse learns about key Bureau personnel, including Helen Marshall, head of operations, who is in the research sector securing HRA production. A plan forms to override the internal lockdown through the maintenance sector. The story continues with seeking help from Audie, the janitor, to access the directorial override. His mysterious nature and ability to navigate the Bureau suggest he may be more than just a maintenance worker, offering crucial assistance in this supernatural crisis. A serious situation has developed at a power plant where cooling pumps and power generators have been damaged. The problem needs urgent attention to prevent a catastrophic explosion. Clear instructions have been left to handle the repairs while someone goes on vacation. Chief Aresh from FBC Security meets Jesse Faden, who introduces herself as the new director there to perform a directorial override. The situation is chaotic, with crew members getting attacked while trying to repair the Nuclear Sector Command, NSC power plant. Dr. Darling had warned about potential attacks and provided personal HRAs for protection. After lifting the internal lockdown, Jesse reveals to Emily her true motivation, finding her younger brother Dylan. She explains how they discovered a mysterious slide projector in Ordinary that created doorways to other dimensions. Through one doorway, they encountered a helpful being called Polaris. While Jesse escaped, Bureau agents captured Dylan. Emily discovers two significant matches in classified files: P6, a prime candidate for future Bureau director, and something called Hedron, connected to HRA technology. Marshall headed to the research sector to secure HRA production after an initial attack. This information leads Jesse closer to finding Dylan. Jesse meets Helen Marshall, head of Bureau operations. Marshall explains that Dr. Darling created HRAs in a nearby lab, which they desperately need more of to survive the current crisis. Jesse offers to help clear out the Hiss threats, hoping Marshall can provide information about Dylan. The HRA machine needs repairs and new black rock prisms to function. Marshall directs Jesse to Darling's other lab in the maintenance sector for prism collection. Though eager to learn about Dylan, Jesse agrees to prioritize getting the prisms to save lives. The situation throughout the bureau is dire, with hiss everywhere and most staff lost. A dangerous hiss monster blocks access to Darling's lab near Black Rock Processing. Salvador, another key figure, is missing after entering the containment sector before lockdown. Jesse discovers that Black Rock comes from a threshold, an area where other dimensions leak in. The quarry in the maintenance sector is one such threshold. Despite the bizarre nature of these revelations, Jesse feels strangely at home in this supernatural environment. After securing the prisms for HRA production, Marshall finally reveals information about Dylan. He has been at the Bureau for 17 years, known as Prime Candidate 6, P6, and was being groomed as a potential future director after the Ordinary incident. The discussion reveals details about a powerful candidate in a program who underwent significant changes, leading to casualties. There appears to be a deep connection between two individuals, with one being kept in a containment sector called the Panopticon. The situation involves the disappearance of adults from a place called Ordinary. A character expresses the need to check on something important while leaving someone else to watch over the Bureau. There are warnings about Dylan being dangerous and instructions not to release him. Internal conflict arises about whether the Bureau members are friends or enemies, despite them taking in the protagonist after taking their brother. The scene shifts to the containment sector, specifically the Panopticon, which serves as a maximum security prison for altered items. There's reflection on the time passed since two people last knew each other, wondering about how life has treated them both during their separation. Frederick Langston, the Panopticon supervisor, introduces himself to Jesse, the new director. The facility is described as a state-of-the-art repository for altered items, though currently facing multiple system failures and hiss invasions. Dylan Faden's location is confirmed to be in the maximum security cells. A crisis involves the Benikoff TV, a dangerous object of power wreaking havoc in the Panopticon. Salvador's team went missing trying to contain it. The situation is critical as the object threatens to release other contained items if not stopped quickly. After dealing with the TV situation, the search for Dylan continues. However, he isn't found in his expected location. The situation becomes more complex when Emily reports that Dylan has surrendered himself, though he appears to be affected by the hiss in an unusual way. Dylan's condition is observed to be different from other hiss manifestations. Theories about genetic factors or special protection are discussed. A special containment area with HR protection has been set up for him. Information about a slide projector emerges, revealing its connection to the hiss invasion. The Bureau's actions with the projector led to current events. There is mention of an altered world event in Ordinary that was stopped by shutting down the projector. Historical context is provided about Dylan's recruitment as Prime Candidate 6, noting his exceptional potential, but also hinting at troubling incidents. The Bureau's handling of Dylan's situation reveals complicated internal politics and conflicting viewpoints. The narrative comes full circle, connecting events from Ordinary to the present. The projector's significance is emphasized as the origin point of everything. Only one slide remains, numbered 36, which leads to a dimension with unique properties, including unusual resonance patterns and an entity called Hedron. At slide gate 36, Hedron was defeated, exposing a resonance trench that threatens to spread further. Despite efforts to stop the Hadron resonance amplifiers, there's uncertainty about whether these actions will make any difference. Time is running out, and important information remains untold. A powerful connection is established through an HRA device being used to secure a door. The situation involves a critical hole that represents both a physical and metaphysical breach, suggesting deeper implications about identity and connection. A revelation occurs when a poster is removed, revealing nothing but emptiness. This discovery triggers an exploration of reality versus illusion, accompanied by distorted perceptions of happiness and time. The scene shifts to an office environment where management demands field reports. A new employee appears distracted, causing tension with authority figures. The atmosphere is charged with pressure and expectations. A disorienting experience unfolds in an office setting, leading to a crisis of identity. The subject experiences profound confusion, loss of sensation, and intense feelings of isolation, struggling to maintain a grip on reality. A plan emerges to use a slide projector in the nostalgia department. This action inadvertently allows the hiss to infiltrate, revealing how Trench became its first victim. The realization dawns that the hiss is the true enemy. Dr. Darling delivers a classified message about Hedron's role as a catalyst rather than a source. The message points to crucial information waiting in the office, suggesting an approaching endgame. A strange revelation occurs about Hedron's connection to consciousness. Despite Hedron's death, its influence persists through an unexplained presence. The truth about Trench's corruption by the hiss over years becomes clear. A disturbing narrative emerges about a sister's persistent nightmare and desperate attempts to wake her. The situation parallels someone trapped inside themselves, suggesting hope for recovery. The final situation reveals Dylan in a coma with uncertainty about recovery. While the portal is closed, the hiss remains in the oldest house, maintaining the lockdown. As director of the Federal Bureau of Control, work continues toward a solution with the management team.